don't know where the happy medium is sometimes here, and I'm probably just rambling. But
Well, I mean, so it's interesting too because I don't know if it's just like the sound settings or however it is when I watch these replays, or on the off chance that I'm watching them live, I can't really hear what the people at the table are saying, and like I said, maybe it's just the
yeah,
way my sound settings are, but tell me if I'm wrong. It's just not easy to hear what people are
it's
saying, right?
not easy to pick it up sometimes. Depending on the proximity of where the player's at, like it can be picked up by the dealer's mic. We got a hand developing here, though. Top pair here for Big Daddy Scott. Top kicker. Bottom two for the Big Daddy Chaz. Let the games begin.
Yeah, this is going to be a check raise, and probably a check raise pretty big. So Scott is just going to probably buckle in because what really connects on that flop, right? I mean, so Chaz calls out of the wait, no, Chaz raised and got 3-bet. These guys are playing from the straddles or
Yeah,
what?
there was first a raise, then a 3-bet by Scott, and then Chaz called. So now we've got the check raise, 190, and now the call by Big Daddy Scott.
There's just Big Daddy written all over this screen
Yeah,
over
it's
here.
just.
All right, so
And I gotta
4-5
remember-
just got there. If Chaz was bluffing, all of the spades are still out there as well. So Scott's trying to think about all of those things, and he'll have to think about them pretty hard because Chaz is definitely going to put out a sizable bet here.
Yeah, I don't think the 7 really would do anything. And if he's projecting Big Daddy Scott to have any kind of 3-betting hand, it's generally ace-jack and up. So feeling pretty good here about bottom 2 pair, and now he's getting max value here as pounds a turn. Is this kind of the more of the return to the Big Daddy Chaz I've seen?
So he's going to overbet this turn, and I think this is a great play. I mean, I think the overbet. I mean, particularly when Chaz basically has all the nutted hands, right? Like Scott probably even he's not even going to play aces this way. Probably. I mean, I guess maybe he would just call when he gets check raised, but still, it's like that's his best hand. And Chaz has the 4-5 here. He's got all of the 2 pairs, the sets. Yeah, I think this is a perfect spot to overbet. And what is Scott going to do, right? I mean, he's got one of the best hands that he can ever have, so he's just got to buckle in. This is going to get really expensive for him.
1,900 here in the middle as we go heads up. Big Daddy Scott can win with any 7, ace, or king. Counterfeit, Big Daddy's 2 pair. Queen's not going to do it.
Yeah, and his sort of third best option there, whatever, was to get a spade and have Chaz slow down, and that's just not going to happen. So now Chaz, ace queen is the only thing that he could really be worried about coming in, and in terms of worry, that's just a couple of combinations. So he's just going to go for it. Yeah, another sizable bet. That's like 80% pot.
No, Scott has much familiarity here with Chaz if he's only just seen the streams, but it's more of the power poker from the Big Daddy that we were accustomed to seeing. But he's got a big enough hand to get some juice out of his opponent here.
Yeah, and I don't see how a fold is really, in his repertoire here because, if your opponent is bluffing you, then what are the likely hands they're going to have, right? You've got the 4-5, maybe some 2-4, 2-5 kind of combos, but are those really going to call the 3-bet out of position? I don't know. It's 4-5 or it's
Chaz's
pairs.
hand is so disguised here at this point that it's like he could think that he has maybe like a Broadway combo of spades, but because that hand would also likely check raise the flop and then barrel the turn and then have to make this bet. So this makes kind of sense that he can put Scott in this position because the way that he would structure a bluff would probably be in this exact same way too.
Yeah, the biggest problem for Scott here, though, is that 4-5, right? That 4-5
Yep.
being
He
one of the
folds.
bluffs that gets in. Yeah, and I mean that's a good laydown. I'm not sure if he should be doing that, but given the fact that that 4-5 bluff really came in just immediately, it cuts down on the number of combos that he could be bluffing with. So, good fold. Got away from it.
Enough was checking in at Sandals Resort. That place Michael Scott wanted to take his girlfriend to. Or did take? I can't. All right. I'm going to check in my office references. We got the Bomber limping with queens.
So this is definitely going to be a
Yeah.
back raise spot. All right, so Chaz is going to take it. He's going to raise it up to 45. Coins getting in there, mixing it up. 4-3. It's going to bring Ken along, and there's going to be a lot of hands here. I'm surprised. Yeah, maybe Bones could have
Here
even
it
tried
comes.
to
George.
get in on this, but Bones. Bomber gonna 3-bet this up. Yeah.
We bet to 20. Chaz is like, you know what? Why don't I want to play 10-7 of hearts here for $200? We got 45 already out there. We're going to have a Ken that gets in a hand here with 10-9 suited.
Oh yeah, we got some people hunting right here. So that's the thing when someone does one of these limp back raises, right? If they're doing it with mostly just big strong hands, you can take a flop with some marginal holdings, knowing that their hand is pretty well defined, right? And if you flop gin like
Oh, goodness.
this, you can make some real money.
Oh, boy. We've got big hand here for Big Daddy chest top and bottom pair. Ken here with top pair straight draw. Bomber here has the lowest equity with the overpair.
Yeah, and he's just going to go big. This is definitely this is exactly what you wanted when you call with a hand as marginal as 10-7. Yeah, and now here's the thing is with a third player in the hand, okay, Chaz, he's just going to make the call, and then that's going to give Ken like a really good price. That is giving Ken a really good price to see a turn. I think we're going three ways.
All right, so he's here for it. I mean, and I think from Ken's perspective, this is why you buy deep into this. So when you do get into these situations, you have the potential maybe to win a big pot. We haven't seen many windows of opportunity for Ken to do so, but this is a good one for him here. As we'll see if he continues. I imagine so. Generally, if the chips are in this position, that is going to tend to lead to be a call here in the spot.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him cut out chips before and then go ahead and push the cards into the muck, but no, definitely coming along on this one. And I mean, alarm bells are going off for both George and Chaz here in terms of the strength of Ken's hand when he comes in as the third caller here. It's almost always going to be a straight draw. So if there was a scare card around that, he's very clearly going to be the one that's sitting on that hand. Now that we've gotten this very bricky-looking turn, though, I think George is just really going to overvalue his hand, and he's probably just going to ship the whole thing in.
Yeah, I think you're right. It looks like we got to ship all in here by 1,001. So yeah, it's gonna get Big Daddy Chaz. Gonna get a count. It's gonna be about 1,100. So now the question becomes, Chaz, with another player to act that's deep stack behind you, like, is it just a call to, or is this an opportunity you raise your opponent out of?
Yeah, this is really player dependent, right? So now if you believe as Chaz that Ken could be trapping, then you should just flat call. But if you think that your opponent, the third opponent, Ken in this instance, is likely just calling behind with a draw that he got priced into, then you're going to want to put in a big raise and try to get him out of there. Otherwise, if you let him come in, he's going to realize all of his equity, like, in such a great way. I mean, look at this. This is 1,000 into a pot that's going to go up to 5,500 almost. I mean, yeah, Ken is totally priced into this, and this is really dangerous for Chaz. I would have liked to raise, but this is...
I agree here with Bonner. It says shipping is bad. Yeah, So we got the pink $500 chips, the white, or excuse me, the black $100, the green 25 chips, and the $5 reds. Thinking in 1-3 mode, we have the white $1 chips. Like, wait a second, we don't have these on.
Yeah. But yeah, so just going back to that thread, right? Like, if you're Chaz and you think that your opponent could be trapping you, then you don't want to raise because you could just get totally owned. But when I think up against Ken here,
Yeah.
I think it's just very unlikely that he's trapping you, and you can get him off of this equity. I don't know. I mean, I guess
Yeah,
we'll see,
it's-
right? It may work out. I think there's a lot of cards that are going to miss, but Ken got a fantastic price to see this river card.
5,400 here in the middle as we go heads up for the side. Both players at just a touch under 6K. And ace on the river, so Big Daddy Chaz's 2-pair holds.
Faded it.
Ken checks. Chaz, just like they're going to check behind. He's going to flip up the winner. That is a big hand there for Big Daddy Chaz. Ken misses his draw. Had a couple of 2-pair outs here with the 9 as well, but Big Daddy Chaz back to running good with some 2-pair combos here with 10-7 and now going to be north of 11,000. So this table could get active here. If Big Daddy Chaz with the chips ready to put the hammer out. I've been kind of like that in between point where I'm just load management, all right? Not overtax myself.
Absolutely.
Just be kind of in the sweet spot of like, hey, we're giving it all here for the show of my sportscasts and not hating my life because I'm working like 7 days a week. So it's
Yeah, well,
trying
that's
to find a little balance in life.
it's the often overlooked aspect of life that certainly affects poker players and people involved in poker probably more than a lot of other folks, which is just getting burnt out and putting in too much time or not balancing, as you said, sort of enough.
Yeah, pre-shutdown I was putting in a lot of times.
Like grinding on the
a
felt?
lot of. I mean, like it was dealing and coming to do commentary as we're building up the channel. So it was the hard work to try to get us to this point here where it's like, man, I've been working my ass off my entire life. Like I've now finally have a chance to kind of just relax. All right,
Yeah.
We're not going to relax here though with E. He's got ace-high spades, Bones with a gutter ball with a king-10 of clubs.
And coins with ace high and no backdoor, so he's going to let it go. Let's see. So Bones, that is a big bet, though. I don't think Bones can go this deep, but no, he thinks otherwise. He says, give me a turn. And Bones is out of position here, so this is interesting. I wonder what he is putting E on to make that call. Out of position with just a gutter and 1 over to the board, backdoor clubs. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's planning on making a move here now that the spade has come. No, he's got the straight and he's gonna put out what he thinks is a value bet. And E is just licking his lips under that mask right now.
What's going on here? Let's count up.
Oh, and this is terrible for Bones because E can just flat call this and give no information about the strength of his hand away. And Bones could very well think on a brick river that he is good. All right, let's see what the river brings us. This pot is up over $2,000. We got another 9. That's going to pair the board, and that is going to slow down Bones. That may give him a way out of this hand.
Possibility here is
He may put in a blocker bet here to avoid having to make a large decision on the river, or if he checks. So let's say that he checks and E bombs this for like 1,500, right?
Yep.
That's just so gross. Whereas he might think that if he puts in a blocking bet of 500 or something, that E will just call with a lot of his hands. It turns out, though, that he's going to check it over and E's going to make what looks like a pretty small bet. Yeah, this pot's 2.2 and he's going to bet only 725. I think Bones is going to have to pay this off. Bones is grabbing a lot of chips, but those look like red chips. Yeah, and he's just moving them straight over towards Z because he knows already
Well,
that he's
Moses
just...
must be on tilt or something, because maybe he's got money on this Ravens game or something, but yeah, he seems a little off right now as compared to Holly Jolly Bones. Crush it, Victoria on the production chair, crushing it. You, the viewer, for crushing it by hitting that like button. That is our show, 5-5 Monday. A big success is Big Daddy Chaz. 3K winner, and so is E. Ken L.